SVG-TV News headlines sponsored in part by Flow.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Get the best in TV entertainment with 139 channels, 26 in HD, and HBO included. Plus get 80 local Flow landline minutes to enjoy on evenings and weekends. All for $225 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
In headlines, the nation's youth urged to explore their hidden talents at National Schools Independence Rally. Bahamas government takes a stance against the United Nations on immigration. Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau wins second term in hard-fought election. And in sports, India seals series whitewash against South Africa after one-sided third test. These and other stories coming up in SVG-TV's Evening News and Sports.
That was the news headline sponsored in part by Flow.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Get the best in TV entertainment with 139 channels, 26 in HD, and HBO included. Plus get 80 local Flow landline minutes to enjoy on evenings and weekends. All for $225 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Good evening and welcome to SVG-TV's News and Sports for Tuesday, October the 22nd, 2019. I am Bhavin Olver with the details. First, viewers of SVG-TV are asked to note the program changes on Wednesday, 23rd. Classifieds and obituaries will commence at 6:15 p.m. and the news will commence at 6:30 p.m. This is to facilitate the live coverage of the Lions Club public speaking competition at 7:30 p.m. On to the news. The nation's youth have been urged to explore their hidden talents and make the best of the education system. This encouragement came today from Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves at the National Schools Independence Rally held at Victoria Park. Larissa Pauls the Kid tells us more in this report.
There were songs, dances, and other cultural performances by students from across the country who were decked out in the national colors to celebrate the country's 40th independence anniversary at the school's Independence Rally held today at Victoria Park. Guest speaker at the rally was Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, who urged students to be disciplined and explore their talents, bearing in mind an education revolution is taking place.
To all the students, do your work, be disciplined, don't hide your talents under the ground, let them flow.
Similar sentiments were expressed by Minister of Education St. Clair Jimmy Prince, who emphasized the need for continued growth in the education sector. Minister Prince outlined some of the progress made thus far, noting the $6.5 million EC spent on school repair program during the August holidays and appealed to persons not to vandalize the school property.
Use, or better yet, eliminate the vandalism that currently occurs at many of our school plants. Once again, I appeal to the school leaders to ensure that the vandalism which exists at the level of the school will be eliminated. And I ask students themselves to be their own watchmen in terms of protecting the school plants. I urge principals, teachers and students and members of the various communities to be on the lookout for those who continue to willfully vandalize our schools so that they can be dealt with accordingly.
49 students were presented with scholarships at today's Schools Independence Rally. 10 national scholarships were awarded in addition to 9 national exhibitions and 30 bursaries. Minister of Education St. Clair Jimmy Prince congratulated recipients whom he said are pursuing different careers.
Recipients, 12 of whom sat the CAPE examination and 17 who obtained associate degrees. These bursaries are for 3 years with an annual value of $25,000, which is up from last year's $20,000. Of course, there used to be a time when we only gave scholarships to people who attended the particular one particular section of the college. Now we have expanded the entire thing. It is heartening to note that Cabinet has decided that a bill will be presented to Parliament to ensure that annually the top 10 scholars will be awarded scholarships or exhibitions in the names of distinguished persons. Among these names are Robert Milton Cato, George Augustus McIntosh, Ebenezer Theodore Joshua, Dr. J.P. Eustace, Sir Vincent Ian Beach, Norma Keyser, Bertram Timmy Richards, Yvonne Francis Gibson, Alban Henry, and John Horn.
The Prime Minister's Award was given to Ayanna Ferguson. Ferguson received her award from Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, who said millions have been injected into the education of the nation's students.
Hey, babe. Hey, babe. Hey, babe. She's absolutely magnificent. And this is her medal. And in addition, from this year, the one who gets the Prime Minister's Award and the medal, we give an additional sum of money. All the national scholars have 5 years scholarship, very well funded. And she used to get, the Prime Minister's Award, he used to get 10,000. From this year is 20,000, and the one who is second place gets 10. That's just for pocket change. God bless her.
The Bel Air Government School copped this year's School Independence Cultural Wear in the primary school category. In second place was Barley Government School. There was a tie for third place shared by the Kingston Proprietary and Bible Methodist School. Here's a snippet of the winner in the primary category showcasing her cultural wear on stage at Victoria Park.
Nisha Jack is wearing a stunning blue, gold, and green gown representing the national colors of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The gown beautifully accentuates her petite figure. Its beauty is further enhanced with a majestic bonnet and blue, yellow, and green accessories. As she turns, the gown opens to reveal the national flower, the soufre tree.
The Intermediate High School placed first in the secondary school category, followed by the St. Joseph's Convent and the Trimica Ontario Secondary School in third place.
The yellow-fitted body of this stunning dress represents the warm, bright, friendly spirit of the Vincentian people. The sleeves of the dress portray the multicolored Amazon parrot and the diverse talents of the Vincentian people. This tie-dyed material reflects the blue, green, and yellow blended colors of the wings of the bird. The long trail represents the tail feathers of the bird, which are a beautiful compilation of green and blue and yellow tips. It also reminds us of the great distances our ancestors traveled each day to and from farms to provide food for their families. On the front of the dress sits the national bird, Amazona gildingi. It was hand-painted, showing the great craftsmanship of the Vincentian people. The unique gold earrings highlight the beautiful sunset that lights up the golden sands along our crystal-clear beaches.
There were 5 participants in the secondary category. 27 bursaries were handed over to students of the St. Vincent Community College by Generation Next, Inc., a youth-based charity organization. Today's handing over ceremony was held at the Methodist Church Hall. Founder of Generation Next, Inc., Senator Carlos James, said over a 6-year period, some 103 students have benefited from the organization's Access to College Education program, which started in 2013. Senator James said that the Generation Next is giving the students well-deserved resources so they can accomplish their dreams and become productive citizens to give back to their community and country.
When we started, a young lady in Petit-Bonel, another rural fishing village, who had attained 9 CXCs, but had several of her siblings who were also in school, and her parent could not afford to send her off to college. The idea came that this program must be used as an opportunity to ensure that despite the available resources educationally, we have to put the financial measures in place to support children. We have grown from, in the initial period of 6 students, to on average every year we do about 20-something bursaries. This year we're doing 27. And this year we would see at least 103 students who have benefited from the Access to College Education program.
James said while the theme for the Independence celebrations this year is renewal at 40, he thinks that changes should be made to rethink and reshape the education revolution to provide more opportunities for youngsters on the block who dropped out of school.
But we need to rethink, reshape what we consider our education revolution. Because we have still young persons in rural communities who are still sitting idly by on blocks. Young men, you go up to them and you ask, why are you home? What are the skill sets you have? They aren't skilled. They left school at Form 2 and Form 3 and grade 6 in some respects. And we really have to put a lot more measures in place to facilitate and to train and to empower young people. It's very important that we look at that. So it's not just renewing at 40, but rethinking, reshaping, and retooling our education revolution.
Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Senator Deborah Charles, thanked the founder of Generation Next organization for providing the much-needed financial assistance to the students and encouraged the recipients to make good use of the bursaries.
I listened to Martin Luther King some time ago, and he spoke about life and what life's meaning should be. And one of the things he said is that young persons determine their own destiny by their determination. So that if you want to become a doctor, if you want to become a barrister at law, if you want to become a politician, if you want to become a drunkard, if you want to become somebody in the field of agriculture, it all depends on you. Spend time doing what you want to do. The only person who can stop you from accomplishing your dream would be you. It's not the person who stands in front of you every day as a teacher. It's not your parents, because you're old enough to determine what you want to become. So as you go forth with this little bursary you'll be given this afternoon, remember, you are the architects of your future. Your future depends on you, and it starts today.
A special homecoming is being planned for a set of Amazona gildingi parrots, the national bird of SVG, that were bred overseas. The population of the Amazona gildingi parrots plummeted from over 3,000 to just around 350 after the 1979 volcanic eruption. As such, legislative and other programs were initiated to help protect the endemic species of parrots. Speaking at a news briefing, Senior Forestry Supervisor Cornelius Richards said a 7-year relationship between the government of SVG and the German Conservation of Threatened Parrots facility has yielded success, and a set of the Amazona gildingi parrots bred at the facility will be coming home soon.
The activities listed under this agreement is the keeping of a reserve captive stock away from the island for the purpose of replenishing the wild population should the need arise. So in 2012, 15 birds were taken to a breeding facility in Tasdorf, Germany, and these birds were scientifically paired with birds that were removed from St. Vincent before 1970, or offspring from these birds. Over the last 7 or so years, we have successfully formed viable pairs in Germany, and we think that the time has come to have a repatriation program of some of these younger birds to replenish our wild population stock here at the Botanical Gardens. And so, on the 4th of November, we will be repatriating initially 3 birds, 2 female, 1 male.
Richards highlighted some of the activities planned to welcome the young parrots to their home SVG.
So between now and the 4th of November, we'll be rolling out an education campaign. We now have several billboards that will be erected within schools and local communities, signaling the arrival of these birds. On the day of the arrival, these birds we're going to have at the Argyle International Airport a handing over ceremony officially, recognizing that these birds remain the sovereign property of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and they have been our national emblematic symbol since 1979. And there will be several other activities, including a press conference where we'll give the public an opportunity to meet with these birds as they arrive and to see their new home, at least in quarantine initially, and in the next 2 or 3 weeks after their arrival, where they'll be placed within the Calvin Nichols Wildlife Complex. So I just want to let the public know that the program started at ACTP is now bearing fruits, or in fact now bearing parrots. And we are at that stage where repatriation of well-conditioned animals have started. And these 3 birds are just 3 of the first to come back over an extended period.
Minister of Agriculture Subota Caesar said the government has always paid close attention to conservation, noting that it is of critical importance to protect the local endemic species.
Witnessed in the last 5 years the protection of turtles here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, because the science was saying that the turtles were endangered and they were in critical need of protection. And currently, we are doing a survey and an analysis to address the issue of the protection of the parrotfish. We have a duty of care to ensure that when the 5-year-olds in this country and the unborn, when they get to the age of 50, they must know what a Union Island gecko looks like. They must know what the Amazona gildingi is, and not only to see it on a picture, but they must be able to interact with it in real life.
Vendors, farmers, and other persons who took part in the recently concluded Agri-Expo 2019 will be provided with another opportunity to learn from the experiences of those who have had success in the industry. This through an upcoming symposium to be hosted at the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries. Speaking with SVG-TV News yesterday, Project Coordinator Cornelius Richards said the symposium will help to inspire the participants to put the necessary measures in place to move their products to the next level.
The local consumers and the local manufacturers, they're all excited. We are now about to start the planning session for another event in November, a symposium for small businesses. We're going to take all the small manufacturers who are present at the venue. We've spoken to them already. We've done our evangelical work, and we'll be bringing them to a one-day symposium where they can hear from successful young entrepreneurs in agriculture to inspire them to move to the next level. I mean, the days have long gone when you can produce 5 bottles of ketchup or of pepper sauce. Why can't we get our people to produce sufficient to make their business viable and to present professionally? That's the next challenge, and we'll be working on that soon.
Richards yesterday described the 2019 National Agricultural Exposition as a resounding success. He said the expo gave the public a taste of the various elements of the country's agriculture sector and was well supported. Coming up, shooting incident in Glen last night left 1 man dead. A relative speaks on the killing. This and other stories coming up when we return with more local news. Stay with us.
Local news sponsored in part by Flow.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Get the best in TV entertainment with 139 channels, 26 in HD, and HBO included. Plus get 80 local Flow landline minutes to enjoy on evenings and weekends. All for $225 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
funeral service should be one that you can be proud of, one that leaves lasting memories of your loved ones. And that's where you need the New Haven Funeral Home. At the New Haven Funeral Home, we desire to impact positively in the industry because we recognize that a greater part of what we do is not just quality caskets or quality coffins, but quality service. We hold ourselves to a higher standard. This standard extends to all areas of our work. We accommodate all clients, regardless of circumstance, all without compromising quality. I actually get this question a lot. And although it's not the most glamorous of jobs, I love it. Because we get to help people. We get to help families when they need it the most.
New Haven Funeral Home, helping families preserve memories.
Sea Star Limited is now located on the 3rd floor of the First St. Vincent Bank building. They have extended their range of products to furniture, including patio sets, closets, shoe casing, beds and mattresses, TV cabinets, and kitchen cupboards, just to name a few of their luxurious pieces, all at unbelievable prices. Don't just take my word for it. Check them out upstairs the First St. Vincent Bank building. And don't forget, they still have the best in windows, doors, burglar bars, rails, and vanities. Sea Star Limited, where quality and style is our motto.
Vinci Expo.
Everything Vinci Expo. Vinci. Everything Vinci Expo.
Come celebrate 40 years of independence at the Everything Vinci Expo 2019. October 24th to the 30th. Come see SVG's best products, services, and more on display at the Kingstown East Terminal. There's something for everyone. Kiddies Corner, themed entertainment nights, and delicious local food and drinks on sale. Everything Vinci Expo.
Everything Vinci Expo for we. Vinci. Everything Vinci for the whole family.
For more information, contact us at 784-457-2159 or email everythingvinci@investsvg.com and follow us on social media. Vinci Expo.
Once again, the countdown has begun, and time is running out. Shop at Courts today and make this season even more epic with the latest in electronics, appliances, stylish furniture, and so much more. Only at Courts, bringing value home.
Welcome back. The RSVG Police Force is investigating the shooting death of a Dennis Richardson, a resident of Glen. According to reports, the shooting incident took place at about 10 p.m. while Richardson was liming on a block near his home. His death brings the country's homicide count for the year thus far to 19. Our news team visited the area today and caught up with the victim's uncle, Augustus Richardson, who said he was inside of his house when he heard the gunshots ring out.
Movies at the same time. So when I inside there, I hear, I didn't really take it at nothing real serious. But after down below me now, after I did inside the house and I hear the gunshot, and so I didn't really pay attention, but I have a nephew who was sitting down here. So after he heard the gunshot, he run inside. Never to know is one me nephew them all in. So I continued inside watching movie and things. So after I hear the night and thing, I see when I do look out the door, I see the whole street full up with people and police and things. So I come out, I ask what happened. Low I day right here and hear it, and I ask what happened. They say, well, low I hear the gunshot, they say a guy they below the bank. So when I take my flashlight and really peep out and thing, I see police around, and when I do look, it's my nephew.
Richardson said his nephew's death is saddening to the family.
He had to call me uncle. It's my sister's child, So with me now, I ain't gonna really, it's a death, and nobody ain't gonna really feel good, whether you're good or you're bad, it's the blood, you understand? So going down the road, I feel whoever do it going down the road is the wrong road. Okay, I don't know what really taking place, if it is a revenge thing or if it's a, you know what I mean? So I really feel, not really feeling too good, not really feeling too happy because you're not going to see him again. It's gone, you know, so.
The deceased is well known to the police and the court. He reportedly served time in prison for gun-related offenses and last jailed after he was found guilty of 2 counts of using disrespectful language in the court. Meanwhile, the body of an unidentified man was discovered earlier today on the rocks at the shoreline of a beach in the Ratomil area. The body was reportedly discovered at around 8 a.m. by a resident using the beach. The police were called in to retrieve the body. A mock mediation in court session held last Friday concluded a week of activities hosted by the National Mediation Committee to promote court-connected mediation in the country. Persons who attended the session held at the House of Assembly building were provided with key information on the process of mediation. Regional Mediation Coordinator Francis Compton conducted the mock mediation session and explained that justice is usually served to both parties through mediation.
So you ought not to have a difficulty. The only difficulty is to arrange, because of time difference, arrange the appropriate time to have your mediation. And as far as the OECS is concerned, and I've said it over and over, the mediator must be prepared, and the court is always prepared, to meet the parties to a dispute on their terms.
Compton added that while the mediators are in control of mediation, lawyers still have a role to play.
One of the things I like to talk about is that when there are 2 persons in dispute, each person go to a different lawyer and give those lawyers what they think or what they feel. And the lawyer will then put all this thing down in the way the lawyer understands it in order to build a case to do battle with another lawyer. Very often we find, and this is not to denigrate any lawyer, but very often the lawyer does his or her job to prepare the case. And very often when the 2 parties get together, you can see what the issue is, because they're the only 2 persons who know the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. When they're together, they know the circumstance of one another, and it's far better for us to look at what is of concern and interest to them.
Chairperson of the National Mediation Committee, Justice Esco Henry, said when there is a dispute through mediation, there is a win-win situation, as dispute is resolved amicably.
One of the main benefits is that it affords persons who are engaged in disputes to resolve their disputes in a manner which is totally confidential, because the persons who attend a court-connected mediation session are required to sign a confidentiality agreement, which means that nothing which is said during the mediation session can be repeated outside of that discussion. Mediation is a win-win situation because no one loses totally. Each person is required to give some ground, and at the same time they also benefit by having some of their interest granted by way of agreement with the other side.
The National Mediation Committee embarked on the public awareness campaign in May 2019, conducted under the auspices of the Judicial Reform and Institutional Strengthening Project, which is managed by the Caribbean Court of Justice and funded by the Canadian government. The public awareness campaign is projected to run for an initial period of 12 months. Local traditional cannabis cultivators and OECS workers intended to work on local, sub-regional and Canadian farms stand to benefit from a new training program in safe cannabis production methodologies. Through a program which will be launched by the SVG Medicinal Cannabis Authority MCA on Thursday, October 24, 2019. A news release from the MCA said the initiative is expected to place traditional cultivators in a position that will improve production and productivity in the medicinal cannabis industry. It said the training course will include theoretical and practical learning in the efficient production of cannabis indoor, greenhouse, and outdoor settings, along with training on industrial standards relating to good agricultural and collection practices. The authority said upon completion of the training, which cost will be absorbed, participants will be provided with a certificate. The program, it said, forms part of the government's overarching mandate to ensure the smooth transition of traditional cultivators of cannabis into legitimate medicinal cannabis industry. More than 100 Vincentians, comprising a significant number of traditional cultivators, have so far found temporary employment in the medicinal cannabis industry. The Medicinal Cannabis Authority said these persons are provided valuable skills in preparation work to establish activities at various sites, including land clearing, excavation, installation of fencing and irrigation systems, assembly of greenhouses, and soil preparation. Coming up, Bahamas government takes a stance against the United Nations on immigration. This from the region when we return. Stay with us.
That was a local news segment.
The Everready Funeral Home at French's is your friend in times of grief. With over 40 years' experience, they are prepared to take care of all your funeral arrangements. Embalming, lowering device service, grave mattresses, carpeting, vaults, tombs, and wreaths. Arrangements for television obituaries. Cremation is available upon request. Everready Funeral Home offers the finest in caskets and coffins, local and imported. So, in your time of need, call Everready Funeral Home at any time. 456-1494. Everready Funeral Home, offering service above self.
Juicy, juicy, drink today. Juicy, juicy, same great taste. Juicy, juicy, the original drink. It's a Vinci thing. Get your red and banana, pineapple, juicy cola, orange or apple. Juicy for you and for your neighbor. It's a Vinci thing. Enjoy it juicy, the original Vinci thing. Juicy.
Vinci Expo.
Everything Vinci Expo. Vinci. Everything Vinci Expo.
Come celebrate 40 years of independence at the Everything Vinci Expo 2019, October 24th to the 30th. Come see SVG's best products, services, and more on display at the Kingston East Terminal. There's something for everyone. Kiddies Corner, themed entertainment nights, and delicious local food and drinks on sale. Everything Vinci Expo.
Everything Vinci Expo for we. Vinci. Everything Vinci for the whole family.
For more information, contact us at 784-457-2159 or email everythingvinci@investsvg.com and follow us on social media.
Vinci Expo.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
Once again, the countdown has begun, and time is running out. Shop at Courts today and make this season even more epic with the latest in electronics, appliances, stylish furniture, and so much more. Only at Courts, bringing value home.
The regional news segment sponsored by Massey Stores SVG Limited.
Massey Stores Pharmacy is the one for you. Is the one for you. We have competitive prices for your prescriptions too. We have 10% off for seniors, children under 3. We're here for your convenience. Prescription services. Leave your prescriptions while you shop. And our professional pharmacists will help you out. Lassie Stores Pharmacy. Lassie Stores Pharmacy. Where your health is your wealth.
Located at Massey Stores, Kingstown. Contact us at 453-9112.
Welcome back. In our news from the region, we hear that the Bahamas government is defending its stance on deportation despite pressure from the United Nations to place the process on hold. But some fear there could be repercussions for this firm stance. We hear more in this Eyewitness News report.
The government is defending its decision to repatriate illegal migrants in the face of Hurricane Dorian's passage over a month ago. It puts government for the first time on opposite sides with the United Nations, who call for deportations to be placed on hold. And with the Bahamas now a member of the United Nations Human Rights Council, a coveted seat that it lobbied for, it is believed by some that this move could impact our seat at the table. The UNHRC is a policing body for countries to ensure they do not break human rights laws. No doubt those countries who sit on the council are expected to be fully compliant with the practices. In a statement last night, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs noted that the Bahamas made the painstaking but necessary and conscientious decision after temporarily suspending immigration laws to reinstate them. The statement says all illegal migrants removed from the Bahamas were done so in compliance with the statute laws of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas in accordance with the Immigration Act, consistent with the international standards of the rule of law and in compliance with international human rights norms and standards. The government stating that there was adherence to all due processes and the requisite procedures for proper documentation via captured biometrics were followed to determine every individual's constitutional right to reside lawfully in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Persons found wanting and in violation of the Immigration Act were lawfully removed in accordance with the requisite court orders. The statement concluded that the international community is assured the government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is a country that adheres strictly to the rule of law, both locally and internationally, especially with respect to the rights of every man, woman, and child in its jurisdiction. Any person entitled to be in the Bahamas legally will be afforded every fundamental right under its statute laws. In the same vein, any person in violation of the Immigration Act will be dealt with in accordance with the statute laws of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Trinidad and Tobago's opposition leader Kamla Prasad-Bissessar says claims of an assassination attempt on the Prime Minister are tactics to score cheap political points. She said the United National Congress is ready to do its work to transform Trinidad and Tobago, accusing the PNM of running a campaign based on lies in 2015.
Balazay House has fallen. The assertion made by opposition leader Kamla Prasad-Bissessar during a press conference on Sunday. She said citizens are fed up of Dr. Rowley's lies, and this is a last-ditch attempt by the PNM to sway voters.
Citizens are fed up of Rowley's lies, make-believe, make-up, blame, blame, blame. That is how they got into government in 2015. They are an illegal government, or illegitimate government, politically, holding on by their fingernails, hoping the same strategy to hoodwink the population will work again. A house built on lies will surely collapse. And that's what we are seeing today.
She said the people of Trinidad and Tobago are keenly aware of Dr. Rowley's failure as Prime Minister, and because of this, the PNM has resorted to baseless attacks. Mistress Prasad-Bissessar said the Prime Minister's claim of an alleged assassination plot against him are engineered to score cheap political points.
I told you in my budget response that everything was coming soon, like a movie, coming soon. I never expected they would reveal the plot on a platform, a Balazay House production. A cornered animal is dangerous, and the PNM has now resorted to baseless attacks as they know their backs are against the wall. The latest talk of assassination plots bear the hallmark of Dr. Rowley's wild and irresponsible, ranting and dangerous style of politicking, which has long been his hallmark.
She said she will not take responsibility for the failings of the People's National Movement.
As they head into an election with a well-known reputation of being the country's worst, most dangerous Prime Minister, who has destroyed every fabric of our economy and social stability, with cruel, punitive, and corrupt national policies, Dr. Rowley now seeks to distract public attention from their tragic and frightening track record of unabashed incompetence with very wild and scandalous and misleading allegations.
Despite what she described as the machinations of the PNM, the opposition leader is confident that her party will emerge victorious in the upcoming elections. Dion Baptiste Clark, TTT News.
Coming up, Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau wins a second term in hard-fought election. This from the international scene when we return. Stay with us.
That was a regional news segment sponsored by Massey Stores SVG Limited.
Massey Stores Pharmacy is the one for you. Is the one for you. We have competitive prices for your prescriptions too. We have 10% off for seniors, children under 3. We're here for your convenience. Prescription services. Leave your prescriptions while you shop. And our professional pharmacists will help you out. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Where your health is your wealth.
Located at Massey Stores, Kingstown. Contact us at 453-9112.
Set for Life is back again. Your favorite game. Win house and land. SUV plus 50 grand. 50 and 25 grand. Second and third prize in your hand. Yeah. So play as much as you can. Monthly prices to be won. Set for Life. A brand new house. Set for Life. A brand new car. Set for Life. $10 for a bet. Live your life with no regrets. Set for Life. Did your day done set? Set for Life. December 28th. Set for Life. Check the lotto machine. Get set for 2019. Set for Life. Live all of your dreams. Be a winner, turn your own keys. Set for Life.
This hurricane tip is brought to you by CIBC First Caribbean. Make sure you have food, water, medicine, important documents, and cash in your survival kit.
Once again, the countdown has begun, and time is running out. Shop at Courts today and make this season even more epic with the latest in electronics, appliances, stylish furniture, and so much more. Only at Courts, bringing value home.
SVG-TV International News segment sponsored in part by Carrez Distribution Limited.
For over 60 years, we have sought only the best beans grown in the lush hills of the Andean mountains of Colombia. Cold Cafe. We carefully select only the very best beans and roast them to delicious perfection by our experienced roast masters. Cold Cafe. Cold Cafe treats you to one of the finest coffees in the world, available in classic and decaffeinated. A rich flavor and aroma that can only come from 100% Colombian coffee. Cold Cafe. Indulge yourself in our delicious cappuccinos available in classic mocha and French vanilla. Enjoy them hot to warm your soul or cool to cool you down. Either way, they are incredibly satisfying. So go ahead, enjoy Cold Cafe and treat yourself.
Let's go further afield now. Canada's Justin Trudeau has secured a second term as Prime Minister, but his Liberal Party has not gained enough seats for a parliamentary majority. It means Trudeau will now have to rely on the support of the New Democratic Party to push through key legislation. The main opposition Conservative Party picked up where Liberal support fell. We hear more in this report.
For Justin Trudeau, it definitely could have been worse.
Merci! Merci, mes amis!
Before the campaign, polls showed growing public mistrust with a man who won a resounding majority just 4 years earlier. Then photographs emerged that showed him wearing racist blackface makeup as a young man, adding to earlier scandals about ethics and accusations of broken promises. In the end, though, Canadians gave him another chance.
Tonight, Canadians rejected division and negativity. They rejected cuts and austerity, and they voted in favor of a progressive agenda and strong action on climate change.
The result is disappointing for the Conservative opposition leader, Andrew Scheer, who had been steadily improving his standing with the voters before the campaign. He faced his own challenges on the hustings, accusations of encouraging fake news and online trolling, and revelations that he had dual U.S.-Canadian citizenship and hadn't told the voters. He promised to fight on and hold Mr. Trudeau accountable.
After the 2015 election, when Justin Trudeau looked unstoppable, when all the pundits and experts said it was the beginning of another Trudeau dynasty, that he would have 8 or even 12 years in power. But tonight, Conservatives have put Justin Trudeau on notice. And Mr. Trudeau, when your government falls, Conservatives will be ready and we will win.
Climate change policy was a strong issue in this election, with the Conservatives promising to scrap a carbon tax brought in by Trudeau's Liberals and do more for the country's oil industry. But most voters disagreed and backed candidates, including Liberals, who promised more aggressive steps to fight global warming and the changing climate. Call this, if you will, a strong minority government. Mr. Trudeau's opponents may have the numbers to beat him in Parliament, but they're unlikely to do so. Canadians won't have to face a fresh general election for some time to come.
Well, that's the news. Sports is just ahead, but before that, let's take a look at the local weather forecast.
SVG-TV International News segment was sponsored in part by Carez Distribution Limited.
Let's go! Turn up the fun!
With Chocolisto and its great flavor, enriched with vitamins and minerals that help you grow.
Chocolisto makes you big and strong.
The weather report sponsored in part by General Hardware, Budgemart Limited.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
Bebin, the diaper made with the very best for the very best. Keeps up with them on the go. With a wetness indicator, Bebin keeps your child dry and happy. For quality and affordability, choose Bebin every time.
Bebin Premium.
Let's now take a look at the local weather forecast. Conditions cloudy. Winds east-northeast at 9 kilometers per hour. Temperature 27.4 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity 78%. Barometric pressure 10.3 millibars. 24-hour rainfall 1.4 millimeters. Today's maximum temperature 29.7 degrees Celsius. Today's minimum temperature 24.8 degrees Celsius. Sunset today at 5:41 p.m. and sunrise tomorrow at 5:56 a.m. Forecast: partly cloudy to cloudy with scattered showers and a chance of isolated thunderstorms. Synopsis: weak, unstable conditions are across the islands.
The weather report was sponsored in part by General Hardware, Budgemart Limited.
Bebin, the diaper made with the very best for the very best. Keeps up with them on the go. With a wetness indicator, Bebin keeps your child dry and happy. For quality and affordability, choose Bebin every time.
Bebin Premium.
Welcome to the evening sports. India needed just 12 balls on their fourth day in Ranchi to wrap up a comprehensive victory by an innings and 202 runs in the third test and maiden series whitewash of South Africa. Shahbaz Nadeem removed the debut and two of the batsmen with the final 2 balls of the second over to finish with 4 wickets on his debut and consigned the Pudjas to their heavy loss in India. The tourists added a solitary run to their overnight score of 132 for 8 before Debayan and concession substitute for Dean Elgar edged behind for 30. One of the batsmen failed to delay the inevitable. The tail ender was dismissed. The following ball in a bizarre caught and bowled, and a shot deflected off Anrich Notse and the non-striker's end and presented Nadeem with a simple catch. South Africa had been forced to bat again on Monday and after crumbling to 162 all-out in response to India's 497 for 9 declared. India now have 5 wins from 5 in the World Test Championship and holding a commanding 180-point lead at the top of the table. Former West Indies batting maestro Brian Lara believes the Caribbean side remains a fed side in the shortest format, but will not be amongst the favourites for the next year's 2020 World Cup in Australia. West Indies are reigning 2020 world champions following their conquest at the last World Cup in India 3 years ago, but have since endured a run of poor results, leaving them 9th in the ICC ranking, only above the likes of Bangladesh and Scotland. The 2020 World Cup is set for the 8th of October to the 15th of November, and West Indies will hope to make their mark, especially after producing a hugely disappointing showing at the 50 Overs World Cup earlier this year in England. In the wake of the debacle, Cricket West Indies have made several changes, among them appointed Kieran Pollard as white ball captain and announcing former Test batsman Phil Simmons as the new head coach. Japan will be opening a brand new national stadium for the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo on December 21st, and former sprinter, the world's fastest man, Jamaican Usain Bolt, will be headlining its launch. According to Sportsmax, while the details are still sketchy, Bolt is expected to be running again in a new type of race that was never existed before. Bolt, the world record holder for over 100 and 200 meters, made the Olympics his stage when he won both events in Beijing in 2008, in London in 2012, and Rio in 2016. The new national stadium will host the opening and closing ceremonies of the 2020 Olympics, as well as athletics, football tournaments throughout. It will also host the Paralympics. The evening sports will continue in a moment. Stay with us.
My sister's pharmacy is the one for you. Is the one for you. We have competitive prices for your prescriptions too. We have 10% off for seniors, children under 3. We're here for your convenience. Prescription services. Leave your prescriptions while you shop. And our professional pharmacists will help you out. Lassie Stars Pharmacy, Lassie Stars Pharmacy, where your health is your wealth.
Located at Massey Stores, Kingstown. Contact us at 453-9112.
26 retail shops and restaurants open now for your convenience. At the cruise ship terminal, at the cruise ship terminal. It's a great venue to run for functions, secure parking, great ambiance. At the cruise ship terminal, at the cruise ship terminal.
Convenient parking at the Kingstown Cruise Ship Terminal and the Geese Compound. The Kingstown Cruise Ship Terminal has 26 retail shops and restaurants with a variety of food offerings. A great secure venue for your function with a great ambience. Also, we offer lock storage service. The Cruise Ship Terminal. Convenience for you.
At the cruise ship terminal, the cruise ship terminal.
Once again, the countdown has begun, and time is running out. Shop at Courts today and make this season even more epic with the latest in electronics, appliances, stylish furniture, and so much more. Only at Courts, bringing value home.
Welcome back. Star Girls 1 and 2 had comfortable victories yesterday in the Vitamalt Cyan Hill Netball Championship at the hard court of the Cyan Hill playing field. Star Girls 1 defeated Vinci Liberator's Success Radio Netters 48-20, while Star Girls 2 whipped Vinci Liberator's Success Radio Netters 2 26-5. At the same venue tomorrow afternoon, Vinci Liberator's Success Radio Netters 2 will clash with Challengers at 5 p.m. At 5. Then later at 6, Dutch Lady Clinchers will face off with Harmony Investment Stars. The Richmond Park football tournament on Sunday saw in the first encounter, K&N pummel Beefies Convention Shop Highlanders 10-4. Scores for K&N were Courtney Francis 4, Dwight Allen 2, Yomari Harry 1, Javari Francis 1, and Mikel Mapp 1. The scores for Beefies Convenient Shop Highlanders was Nick James 1, Dawson Samuels 2, and Hensroy Brown 1. The second game saw Quebec's Pride and Joy win 5-0 over Beefies Convenient Shop Highlanders. The scores for Quebec's Pride and Joy were Damian Richards 1, Nalroy Peters 1, DeAndre Smith 2, and Stone Solin 1. Then on Monday, Petty and Pride and Joy under 16 defeated Rasfalco 5-0. Scores for Pride and Joy under 16 were Joel Cato 2, Dwayne Robinson 1, TJ Stevens 1, and K. Otley 1. And that's how we end sports this evening. We'll be right back to wrap things up.
A funeral is considered as the last goodbye. The memories are for you, the family and loved ones. Joseph da Silva Senior Memorial Funeral Home sympathizes and understands the grieving process. They go the extra mile, offering counseling, private funeral, chapel service, night viewing and church service, along with other services expected at a professional funeral home. Visit the office at Mesopotamia. A warm, modern, and customer-friendly environment awaits you. Joseph da Silva Senior Memorial Funeral Home, offering affordability in time of need. We are here. We care.
Shot for Life is back again. Your favorite game. Win house and land. SUV plus 50 grand. 50 and 25 grand. Second and third prize in your hand. So play as much as you can. Monthly prizes to be won. Set for life. A brand new house. Set for life. A brand new car. Set for life. $10 for a bet. Live your life with no regrets. Set for life. Did your day done set? Set for life. December 28th. Set for life. Check the lotto machine. Get set for 2019. Set for life. Live all of your dreams. Be a winner. Turn your own keys. Set for life.
Once again, the countdown has begun, and time is running out. Shop at Courts today and make this season even more epic with the latest in electronics, appliances, stylish furniture, and so much more. Only at Courts, bringing value home.
And now for a second look at the headlines. The nation's youth urged to explore their hidden talents at National Schools Independence Rally. Bahamas government takes a stance against the United Nations on immigration. Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau wins second term in hard-fought election. And in sports, India sealed series with whitewash against South Africa after a one-sided third test. And viewers of SVG-TV are asked to note the program changes on Wednesday 23rd. Classifieds and obituaries will commence at 6:15 p.m. and the news will commence at 6:30 p.m. to facilitate the coverage of the Lions Club public speaking at 7:30 p.m. On behalf of all of us here at SVG-TV, thanks for viewing. I am Bavin Oliver. Don't forget to visit our Facebook page for a recap of the news and daily headlines. Also tune in for SVG-TV's News in 15 at 12:45 p.m. weekdays. Have a good evening.
Listen, the big hardware hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentions for years with their high prices. They came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
This hurricane tip is brought to you by CIBC First Caribbean. Take photos of important documents and secure them in waterproof containers or bags. Make sure to include any insurance policies, property deeds, or mortgage papers.
Once again, the countdown has begun, and time is running out. Shop at Courts today and make this season even more epic with the latest in electronics, appliances, stylish furniture, and so much more. Only at Courts, bringing value home.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Get the best in TV entertainment with 139 channels, 26 in HD, and HBO included. Plus get 80 local Flow landline minutes to enjoy on evenings and weekends. All for $225 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.